If you have been around the city or not far from the social media lately, you have probably heard of the extreme heat wave that killed about 53 people in Montreal this summer 2018. In the long term, greenhouse gas emissions or GHGs, which contribute to climate change, are increasing the global temperature and occurrence of extreme weather events. Furthermore, the World Health Organization estimates that every year, around 7 million people die from exposure to polluted air. Of all ambient air pollutants, particulate matter has the greatest effect on human health as it can penetrate human lungs and also enter our blood system.
The spatial distribution of and exposure to particulate matter is uneven both at local and global levels. You may think that by riding your private vehicle, you're less exposed to pollution. However, studies show that the exposure for cyclists and drivers at the same location is almost the same. Today, most of these greenhouse gases and particulate matters come from fuel combustion of our personal cars, freights, and airplanes. Looking up the amount of the CO2 emissions of the most popular diesel car in Canada, the 2018 Honda Civic sedan, it produces 172 grams of CO2 for each kilometer. Considering a short trip of about 3 kilometers around our home, and if we take 2 of these trips each day, our production of CO2 can be at least 1 kilogram of CO2 per day. Currently, we are heading to a world without fossil fuel vehicles or electric cars. Vancouver is currently Canada's leading city and gives a $5,000 incentive to people who buy electric cars. Yet it seems far from enough for even just the cheapest car, which costs $25,825. Getting deeper into the government taxing and incentive structures, we find that these taxes mostly target people with lower incomes who have less sufficient cars.
So what are our options? By trying to shift our short trips to walk or cycle or taking the transit, we can reduce about 1 kilogram of CO2 for each of us. Think of the amount of reduction that we can make altogether. Policies as well can encourage people to leave their cars at home by adequate and improved public transport system, bike and pedestrian infrastructures, and incentives for electric bikes and vehicles.